Okay, so I planned some past paper questions again. Let's do them. Okay. So this is the first section. You'll see 1 mark questions. This is again AS Mathematics past paper from AQA board. So let's see how to do it. It says the curve y equals under the root x is translated onto the curve y equals under the root x plus 4. So we have studied functions. I taught you functions. So basically, when we have
Yep.
functions, there's a concept of transformations, that what would happen when we add subtract something in x, and what would happen when we add subtract something in y, and when we're multiplying something in x and when we're multiplying something with y. So we'll come to that later on. For now, I'm not sure if you have covered this or not, but just know, whenever you are like, this is the original function, let's call it f of x equals under the root x. So this is basically f of x plus 4, because I have under the root x plus 4. So what has happened? I have added 4 in y, in x. So whenever you are adding or subtracting something in x or the function, translation happens. And for translation, we have a translation vector. So I'll tell you how to write it down. We have the x component first and then is the y component. So
Yeah.
if you are adding 4, you'll write down minus 4. Okay,
Minus
for
4.
x it's opposite.
Yeah.
And we did not do anything with y, so it would be 0. So this would be
0.
minus 4 and 0. So the answer would be this one. Yes, is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, very good. So I just wanted to talk about this section as well. Every time I was just skipping this, but let's talk about the main questions now. Okay. Again, it's easy. It's also 1 mark questions. Now it says, write down the value of P and the value of Q given that. Okay, so it's simple. When bases are same, we can just equate the exponents, the powers. So I can write it down as 3 to the power 1 by 2 equals 3 to the power P, and I can equate the powers, right? So P would be 1 by 2 in this case. Very good. What about the next one? Can you do the third one, like third second part?
Would that be minus
Very
2?
good. Yes, excellent. So 1 by 9 can be written as 1 by 3 squared, because we can see that on the
Yeah.
other side we have 3 to the power q. When I'll take this to the numerator, it would become 3 to the power minus 2 equals 3 to the power q. Bases are same. Powers can be equated. Minus 2 equals q is the answer. Very good. Okay. Let's talk about this one. Okay. Now it says, find the value of x for which. Okay, so this requires multiple steps. That is why it is a 2-mark question. Otherwise, the concept is similar. So first of all, let's write down everything in terms of 3. 3 to the power half multiplied by 3 to the power x equals 1 over 3 squared. When bases are same and they're being multiplied, powers are added. 3 to the power 1 by 2 plus x equals, I can take this to the numerator. This would give me 3 to the power minus 2. Bases are same. Powers can be equated. 1 by 2 plus x equals minus 2. I'll take this half on the other side, and it is going to give me x equals minus 2 minus half. That would be minus 5 by 2 or minus 2.5, whatever you want to write.
Okay.
Any confusion so far?
No.
All right. Okay, perfect. Let's see what. Okay, all right. Now this is a similar. Now you would be noticing. I think this is the third past paper, so you would be noticing a trend. Like we usually start off from this part, but now for this class, I wanted to talk about the other questions as well. So the pattern is similar. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but the question order and stuff like that. Initially, we have very simple questions, and then they get complicated. So I was talking to another student of mine, and I told her, never ever look at the entire paper initially. This is why the examiner is giving you this way. Trust me, If the paper was in reverse order, the threshold would have been very, very less, because the confidence you gain after solving these easy questions would make you do the complicated ones. Okay, so always remember this thing. All right, let's talk about this. Now it says, show that 5 under root 2 plus 2 divided by this can be expressed in this form. So we know the pattern for such questions. How to get rid of the third thing from the denominator? We multiply the opposite just so we
Yes.
can get the a square minus b square form. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is what I have, 5 under the root plus 2 divided by 3 under root 2 plus 4. I'll multiply a fraction that is equivalent to 1. Any fraction whose denominator and numerator is same, it is equivalent to 1. So in mathematics, I can certainly multiply such thing. And that thing would be 3 under root 2 minus 4
Yeah.
divided by 3 under root 2 minus 4. Now this step was basically done for the denominator. So let's write it down together. This plus 2 would give me 3 under the root 2 minus 4 divided by, you know that rule now, a square minus b square. So I'll write it down directly. It can be written as 3 under the root whole squared minus 4 squared. Right, Madhiha?
Yes.
All right. Okay, perfect. Now let's simplify this. So this with this would give me 5 into 3 is 15. Under root 2 into under root 2 would give me under root 2 squared. So
2.
I can write it down as 2. Right?
2.
Very good.
Yeah.
Then minus 5 into 4, 20 under root 2. Then plus 6 under root 2 and then minus 8 divided by 9 into 2 minus 16. I am going to simplify everything now. So 30 minus 20 plus 6 would give me minus 14 under root 2. Very good. Minus 8 divided by 9 into 2 is 18 minus 16. That would be 2. Let's
2.
simplify things. 30 minus 8 would give me 22 minus 14 under root 2 divided by 2. I'm still not done. This is what I need. So I need to get rid of this denominator. I'll divide it on both parts. 11 minus 7 under the root 2. And this is the value. Now m is 11 and n is minus 7. Because if you look at the original form, it has plus there. So it would be minus 7.
Minus 7.
And that is the correct answer. Yes. Okay, this is 11. Right. Any confusions?
No.
Okay, perfect. So it was an easy question. Okay, now let's do some analysis. Okay, it says Jessica, a math student, is asked by her teacher to solve the equation tan x equals sin x. Whenever you will, see a question of this type, always remember the working would be shown and you would be, just checking it. Just think about yourself as a teacher and now you'll get 2 marker. The steps of Jessica's working are shown below. The teacher tells Jessica that she has not found all the solutions because of a mistake. Explain why Jessica's method is not incorrect. So it says she has not found all the solutions. Whatever solution she has found is correct, but she did not find all the solutions. So for such questions, you will see the same was the issue last time as well. We would be following a similar pattern. Okay. So tan x equals sin x is the questions. In step 1, she wrote tan x as sin x by cos x. So this is what she will get. She took cos x to the other side and it gave her sin x equals sin x cos x, and she did cancellation of sin x. So she did this and she got one equation, and the answers according to this are correct. But the problem is that she did not find all the solutions. So this happened last time as well. Instead of canceling,
Yeah.
okay, yes,
Yeah.
she should have.
She shouldn't have cancelled it. Is it because was it not supposed to equal 0?
Exactly. Very good. So I can take this to this side, like she could have taken this to the other side, and this would be 0. And now she can take sin x common. So sin x can be taken common, and that would give her 1 minus cos x equals 0. Now this is also going to give her 1 minus cos x 0, that is 1 equals cos x, but it's also giving her sin x equals 0, and she missed this. That is why her solution was incomplete. Okay, so this was the problem. The problem was in the third step when she cancelled sin x, because she missed the solution coming out from this equation, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, Madiha, you have understood this?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, very good. So would you be able to write it down in words?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Always make sure that for such descriptions we use words as well as mathematical expressions as well, right? She cancelled
Yeah.
out sin x. She missed the solution coming out from this stuff like that. Before your CIs, obviously not CIs, before your board exams, I will teach you how to write down proper answers. But at this point, we can just talk about the solutions and all that stuff. Okay. So this was a 2-mark question. Let's talk about the next one. Okay, here's a very, very interesting question. Oh my God, what is this? Okay, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. It says a parallelogram has sides of length 6 centimeters and 4.5 centimeters. The larger interior angles of the parallelogram have size alpha. Given that the area of the parallelogram is 24 centimeters squared, find the exact value of tan alpha. So I'll give you 1 minute. Understand the question first, and then I'll tell you. So are you done with reading the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the most important keywords for this question are you need to find the exact. Whenever you come across this term exact, it means if you are getting some third type of an answer, just leave it that way. If you're getting a fraction, just write it down that way, because if you write down a very, very, very big decimal answer, first thing, you would not be able to write down all the values. Second thing, it could be that you are writing down all those 7 8 decimal places, but the calculator was not able to display all of them. Okay, so exact means leave your answer in third form or fraction form or whatever it is. Do not give the answer in decimals because it requires exact. Number two, you're not supposed to find the value of alpha. You are to find the value of tan alpha. This is what we need to understand. That's simple. Let's think about the scenario. Let's make a parallelogram of this type. So we have two parallel sides. Let's say this side and this side. And then we have this side, and then there's another side, this one. So here's a parallelogram. This side is 6 and this side is 4.5. Okay, now the bigger angle or the larger interior angles would be this one and this one, right? It is alpha. This is alpha basically. Okay, so obviously this would not be, this would be the smaller one and the other one is the larger one. That is obvious by the diagram. And if you did not know this, so it is a property as well. It depends on the orientation of your parallelogram, but you would be able to understand if it is the larger one or the smaller one. Okay, now
Yeah.
the area of this parallelogram is 24 centimeters squared. Now how to use area? Like the formula of area is base into height. We do not have any information about the height of this parallelogram. All I can do is I can just make a line here to make two triangles, and the area of both these triangles would be same because this is 6 and this is 4.5. So for such scenarios, when we do not have a right angle triangle, we know how to find the area. It would be 1 by 2 multiplied by the given side, 4.5 into 6, multiplied by the angle opposite to the unknown side, that is sine alpha. This is the area of the first triangle. I am going to multiply it with 2 because both the triangles are exactly same. This 2 and this 2 would be cancelled, and this area can be equated to 24 because this is what it says. I'll find the value of sine alpha quickly. So 24 divided by 4.5 into 6. 4.5 into 6 is 27. So 24 divided by 27 will do that. Okay, so it would be cancelled. This is going to give you 24 divided by 27. That is going to be 8 by 9. Okay. So it is the table of 3, it's 8 by 9. Now we have sine alpha. You are asked to find the value of tan alpha. Now you are going to make a triangle of your own. It should be a right angle triangle because these trigonometric functions are only valid for right angle triangles. So I'll make one by myself. This is the triangle. Let's say this is the angle alpha and this is the right angle. So sine alpha is 8 by 9. So this is the perpendicular side. This would be 8 and this is the hypotenuse side. For tan alpha, I need to find the base because tan alpha is perpendicular over base. So I still have the perpendicular side, that is 8. I do not have the base. So can you please find the base using Pythagoras theorem and tell me the value?
Yes. Is it root 17?
Very good. Yes, that is correct. So base has turned out to be under root 17. So it would be this. This is the value of tan alpha. Now, the important thing in this question was the understanding of the fact that you are to find tan alpha, not alpha. Okay. And then exact means we are going to leave the answer this way. Obviously, for trigonometric functions, we usually prefer fractions. But whenever the question says exact, always remember, never ever give the answer in decimals. Okay.
Yes.
So is that okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk about the next question. Okay, it's simple. It says determine the line with equation this is parallel to the line through the points with the coordinates this. So we need to determine whether the line with this equation is parallel to the line that is passing to the coordinates 9, 4 and 3, 8. So that's simple. We know the relationship of two parallel lines. If two lines L1 and L2. If they are parallel, the gradients of both the lines should be same. Only then they would be parallel. So this is the condition that we use for checking parallel lines. Okay. And what if the question was about perpendicular? The product would be -1. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Let's talk about line 1. The equation is given. It says 2x plus 3y plus 4 equals 0. It is a straight line. So we know in case of a straight line, it is y equals mx plus c. This is the general form. And in this general form, this m gives me the gradient of the line. So I need to first convert this to this form. How can I do that? By making y the subject. So it would become minus 2x minus 4. And now I will divide it by 3. So minus 2 by 3x minus 4 by 3. This would be the value of m, and this means m is minus 2 by 3. Okay, this is the gradient of line 1. We need to see if this is the gradient of line 2 or not. For line 2, we have two coordinates, 9, 4 and 3, 8. For finding the gradient, we will do m2 equals the general formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Y2, you can use any point as second point or first point. It's completely your choice. So it would be 8 minus 4 divided by 3 minus 9. That would give you 4 divided by minus 6. And once you'll simplify this, it would give you minus 2 by 3. Since the gradients are same, it means that both the lines are parallel. Since m1 is equal to m2, that is minus 2 by 3, so this implies the lines are parallel. Yes, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. Let's talk about the next question. Okay, it's simple. It says find the first three terms in ascending powers of x of the expansion. This we will use the binomial expansion formula, which I taught you. So let's use it. So we know
Yes.
that NCR is equal to A power n minus R, B power R. N is 10. So the first term would be 10 C0, 1 power. And you know what? For such questions, you can do it directly as well. But I am the type of teachers who are never ever telling the students to do this and that condition and do this and this condition. Like, I just want you to remember one formula and apply it directly. So it would be 1 power 10 and then minus 2x power 0. Then we have second term, it would be 10 C2, 1 power 9, then minus 2x, so it would be 1, minus 2x power 1, and then the third term would be 10c2, 1 power 8, and then minus 2x power 2. So you can simplify this and tell me the values. The first term is very easy. This would be 1, this would be 1, this would be 1. So it would be 1. Then minus 10 into 2. This would be 1 as well. So it would give you minus 20x. And then you can find it for the last one, 10c2 into 4. It would give you 180 x squared plus dot dot dot. Okay, we are just supposed to find the first three terms, so this would be the answer for the first three terms. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. So we'll be using this for the next part. Now it says Carly has lost her calculator. She uses the first three terms in ascending powers of x of the expansion of this thing to evaluate 0.998 to the power 10. Find Carly's value for 0.998 to the power 10 and show that it is correct to 5 decimal places. Just take a minute, understand the question, then I'll tell you how to do it. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So you need to find a similarity between the both the highlighted things. It is 1 minus 2x to the power 10, and on the other hand we have 0.998. So we know the first three terms of this expansion. Let me write down those terms. That turned out to be 1 minus 20x plus 180 x squared. These were the three terms which she is going to use. But how? We need to find the value of x and we'll plug that value in. Okay. So let's find the value of x. I can see by comparing both the highlighted things that 1 minus 2x is equal to 0.998. I need to make x the subject just so I can find the value and just so I can plug it here. So it would give me 1 minus 0.998 equals to x, and that would be, you can just use your calculator for finding that value. You can do it directly as well. It's obvious. It would be 0.002 divided by 2 equals x, and the final answer is going to be 0.001. This is the value of x. Now we can plug in this value very easily. It is 1 minus 20 multiplied by 0.001 plus 180 into 0.001 squared. So 1 would remain as it is, minus 20 into 1 is 20, and then we have 3 decimal places. So 0.020. Then the next one would be plus. You can use your calculator as well, do it directly as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So 0.001 squared would be 1 with 6 decimal places. So 180 with 6 decimal places can be written as 0.0000180. Now we need to add all the values, like subtract and then add. The answer would be 0.98. We write it down here. So it would be 0.98018. This is going to be the value of this thing. This would be the evaluation of this approximately. And it said 5 decimal places. So although this was written in 6 decimal places, but since the last value is 0, that is why it did not affect the 6 decimal place of the overall answer, and that is why the answer is this. Any doubts?
No.
All right. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about the next one. Okay, now it's an interesting question. It says, given that f of x is x squared minus 4x plus 2, find the value of f of 3 plus h. Express your answer in this form where b and c are integers. Okay. F of x is given. So f of 3 plus h would be the same thing, but instead of x, I'll be writing down 3 plus h. So 3 plus h squared minus 4 into 3 plus h plus 2, and that is going to give me, I'll expand this because I need to make it look like this one. It would be 9 plus 6h plus h squared minus 4 into 3 would give you 12 minus 4h plus 2. Let's simplify this. H squared. 6h minus 4h would give me plus 2h plus 11. So b and h are belonging to integers. All right, 1 second only. Okay. 1 minute. This is that. Yeah, it's correct. Minus 12 plus 2. This is the only mistake. Okay, we have 9 minus 12 plus 2. These are the constant terms. 9 minus 12 would give me minus 3 plus 2 would give me minus 1. So that is where I went wrong. It would be minus 1. And now it is correct. Okay. So this is h squared plus 2h minus 1. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Let's talk about this one. Okay, Madiha, now have you studied differentiation from first principles?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it says the curve with equation this passes through the point this and the point Q where x is 3 plus h. Using differentiation from first principles, find the gradient of the tangent. Now for such types of questions, we know that we do it this way. F of 3 plus h minus f of 3, that is this point, divided by this difference, that is of h. So let's plug in the values. We already got an expression for f of 3 plus h. It was h squared plus 2h minus 1. And now when I am going to plug in 3, I would get what? This is the function, so just plug in 3. It would give you 9 minus 12 plus 2, so it would be minus 1, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So minus into minus 1 divided by h, and that would give me h squared plus 2h minus into minus 1 would be 0 divided by h. Let's simplify this. H squared by h would give me h only plus 2. This is what we get, and we know that in this method we use this approximation that h is approximately 0. It is not 0 exactly, but it is approximately 0. So when h tends to 0, h plus 2 would give me 2. So this is the gradient of the tangent at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sure that you have understood this one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the next one. Okay. Now it says a student conducts an experiment and records the following data for two variables x and y. It's a table, and then the third row is empty. The student is told that the relationship between x and y can be modeled by an equation of the form y equals kbx. Plot values of log 10 y against x on the grid below. So first of all, we need to find out the values, and then we'll do that. So can you please tell me the values using your calculator? Just press log 14 and it should give you 1.1. Then log 45, and that would give you 1.7. Then log 130, and it would give you 2.1. Then log 1100, and it would give you 3, 3.1, and 3.5. Please check if you're getting the same values or not. All these values are written to 2 decimal places, okay, because of the plotting thing. Yes, are you getting the same values?
I'm doing the last one.
Okay, sure.
$3.5, yeah.
Okay. Next is plot the values of log 10y against x. Okay, now I'll plot it. So I need to, you can just take a screenshot on your phone and then you would know. And then I'll scroll down, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing is, the most important part of this graph is, okay, this is how it is. You need to understand the weightage of one small box. So on both the x and y it is same. One small box is of 0.2 units, right? 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and then we have 1. So how do we do it? We do it 1 divided by 10 because we have 10 small boxes, and that would give you 0.1 on both the x-axis and the y-axis, right, Madhya?
Yes.
The first point is 1 comma 1.1. So the x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate is 1.1. So I'll zoom in just so we are able to make the correct thing because we will be using this shortly. So x is 1 and y is 1.1. So it is going to be somewhere here, right?
Yes.
Yes, Padiha? Basically,
Yeah.
1 second, sorry. It would be 1 divided by 5 actually. We have 5 small boxes, okay?
But
So
yeah.
that would give you, you can just find the value and you will understand one box would give you 0.2 basically then. Okay. So the half of 0.2 would be 1.1. First value is 1 comma 1.1. The second one would be 2 comma 1.7. The third one is 3 comma 2.1. The fourth one is 4 comma 3. The next one is 5 comma 3.1. And then the last one is 6 comma 3.5. This is the first value. The second one is 2, 1.7. X is 2. Then we need 1.7 on the y-axis. So for that, I am going to, this would be 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, and this is 1.7. This is the second one. Then what is the third value? The third value would be 3 and 2.1. So now the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 2.1. So this is the value. Then 4 and 3. Then it's 5 and 3.1. And then it's 6 and 3.5. Okay. This is how we make the points. Any confusions with this?
No.
Okay. Now the examiner did not tell you to make the line. He just said that plot the values on the graph. So this means
Yeah.
you're not supposed to make the line. Okay. State with the reason which value of y is likely to have been recorded incorrectly. What do you think? Now, for such questions, always make sure that you have your scale or a thread. Now, you can see that all the points, if I make a line of this type, not this type, wait a second, something of, let's say, this type, right? So, this point would be an outlier. So, it means that this y value would be recorded incorrectly. Are you getting this?
Yeah.
Because it's not consistent with the other value. So we are talking about the y value, not the log of y value. It is the x coordinate 4. At x coordinate 4, y is 1100. So this would be the answer. This would be recorded incorrectly. Always make sure that you understand the question. They are talking about the value of y. So just write down this point 4 and 1100 as it is not on the line and is not close to the other point. So it is inconsistent. It is an outlier. That is why it
Yes.
must have been recorded incorrectly. Okay. So we know this. So I am going to keep this line here because I know the next part. Although my line is not appropriate, but still. Now it says, by drawing an appropriate line, find the values of k and b. It is a 4-mark question. Let's scroll up and see where exactly are k and b. Okay. Now, Madhya, the equation initially was, let me just talk about this part for a moment. The equation initially was this, but for some reason they just, incorporated log. Now, obviously, if they are doing so, the line is made according to that. How would that straight line give me the values of k and b? Let me add log on both sides. So this would give me log y equals log k b x. So this would give me log k plus log bx, and finally I would get log k plus x log b. So if I write down the equation together, it would give me log y equals x log b plus log k. And I will write down something underneath which would make more sense. Y equals mx plus c. So this is a straight line. And using this thing and the x coordinate, I am going to get a straight line. So in order to find the values of b and k, I can find c, I can find m of the line. And using these two things, I would be able to find the gradient. So this would be the gradient log b, and this would be the y-intercept. So once I have those things, I can easily make b and k the subject by taking log inverse, that is exponential function. And you would be, this is not, it would be exponential function for this case, but you can, you know how to do it, right? We'll do it. So
Yes.
is that okay? Is the understanding and the method okay, that how are we linking
Yeah.
the straight line for finding out k and b?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So obviously our answers would not be correct because my line is not an appropriate one. It should be made using a straight, scale or stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but still, I will look at my x-intercept, or sorry, y-intercept, whatever it is, and it is this value. It is 0.246, and it is 0.75, I suppose, right? Let's use this
Yeah.
value. Although this is not the correct value on marking scheme, we have 0.68, but this is because of my beautiful line. So it would be different for your case. Okay. So C is 0.75. And for finding the gradient, we can pick up any 2 points that are genuinely passing through the line. So it is this point and it is this point. So for at 3 and x, okay. So we can use this point and this point. Can you please find the gradient using these 2 points?
Yeah. Would it be 0.477? 0.7.
Very well done. Yes, that matches our answer because we have used valid points instead of using a line. So it would be 0.48 approximately.
Yeah.
M has turned out to be 0.48. So I'll write it down here. Okay. M is 0.48. Now if I write down this in that form, log y equals x log of b plus log of k. This is c and this is m. So 0.48 equals log b and log k equals 0.75. Okay. Now for finding the value of b, we can just use 10 directly. So k is going to be, this is k. I can write k as 10 to the power 0.75 and b is going to be 10 to the power 0.48 because we know log inverse is basically 10 to the power this number, and that is how we solve it. So you can just find the values, your values accordingly. B would be 3 and the other one would be 10 to the power 0.75. So it is 5.6. Yes. Is that okay, Maliha?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about the next question. Okay. Now it says there's a 7-mark question. Chris claims that for any given value of x, the gradient of the curve y equals 2x cubed plus 6x squared minus 12x plus 3 is always greater than the gradient of that curve. Show that Chris is wrong by finding all the values of x for which his claim is not true. Again, take a minute and understand the question, and then it would be very easy. So is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Chris claimed something. You need to prove that this claim is not true by finding the values of x for the other case. What would be the other case? Let's find out the gradients first because all the time talking about the gradient. So dy by dx of the first curve would be 6x squared plus 12x minus 12. This would be the first one. And the second one would be minus 12x plus 60. Right? Okay. These are the two gradients. Is that okay, Madiha?
Yeah.
And he says gradient, like this gradient is always greater than this. So we'll take the other case. We will take that this gradient 6x squared plus 12x minus 12 is not greater than, in fact, it is less than or equal to minus 12x plus 60. This is what we will take because it said show that this is wrong by finding all the values of x for which his claim is not true. So this is what we are going to take, and let's simplify this. So I would get 6x squared, and it would be plus 24x minus 12, and 60 would be 72 less than equal to 0. Now I can take 3 common from all these terms. So it would give me 2x squared plus 8x minus 24 less than or equal to 0. And I could have taken 2 common as well. So x squared plus 4x minus 12 less than equal to 0. This is my equation. I'll make 2 factors. Can you think about the 2 factors? 6 and minus 2? Right, Vidya?
Plus 6 and minus 2, yeah.
Very good. So it would be x plus 6 into x minus 2 less than equal to 0. And now I have been telling you already, it is a quadratic inequality. Never ever try finding out the answer directly. This is 2 and this is 6, and it is positive x squared. So the curve would have been something of this type. Assume that it is y equals that. So if it is y equals that, y is less than equal to 0. So these are the points. These are the points specifically, and the answer for x would be x would be greater than
minus
or equal to minus 6. Very good. And less than equal to 2. So since we have some x values which exist for the other condition, that means his claim is not true, because he said always. Yes, for some x values his claim would be true, but not for every value.
Not for all of them.
Yeah, so not for these. Okay, so that is why his claim was wrong. Okay, anything that you would like to ask which you were not able to understand? Any questions with you?
No.
Okay, I'll scroll up again, and still if you have anything, you can ask me directly. All right, so no questions?
No.
So I'll stop the recording. Oh.